order! We shall have order! Who would have thought that Iron Man himself would actually be taken to court?
We spin these tales of love out of trust and hope.
The judge. Do we have order in court? Okay, we do. So The Judge, directed by David Dopkin, and tells the story of Hank Palmer, who's an ass ornery. He returns to his India hometown, and this causes tension to rise between him and his father, Joseph Palmer, who completely disapproves of his job. But when his father is arrested and taken to court for a tragic hit-and-run death, Hank must go to court and desperately jump into his father's defense to save him from being thrown in jail, as even though his father does disapprove of this. So The Judge was actually requested by a good subscriber of mine, Walter Robinson. So of course, Walter, this review is for you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for the request, man. I had never seen this movie or even heard of it, oddly enough, until now. So it was a very interesting and experience me watching it for the first time now that it is 3 years old. So I did look at the critic general consensus for the film, and sadly, while it was a decent hit, maybe commercially, critically it got mixed reception from critics. It only got as high as a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, generally not many people cared about this film or respect it as anything great, but Walter loves it. This is one of his favourite movies, and I can totally see why he does love it. And while I wouldn't rate it as high as him, I do not think this movie is one of the greatest films ever made. Far from it. It probably wouldn't even be in my top 50 favourite films of all time, but it's a good, solid drama. The best compliment I can give this film is its fantastic and powerful performances from both Robert Downey Jr., that's right, Iron Man is in this movie, how cool is that? And he's awesome in every role he's in. Sure, he kind of plays mostly just Robert Downey Jr. in every role, with the exception of the Sherlock movies, but he is excellent and confidently leads the film. And Robert Duvall as his father, he was great too. He is so confident and so bold as the judge, and Vera Fangma's in this movie. She as Hank's former girlfriend, she's great, and yeah, everybody did a fantastic job acting wise, and for the most part, the father and son relationship in this film between Hank and his father is done so well. It's not perfect. I will get to my issues with it in the negatives of the film, but it's done it's so poignant for the most part. It's emotional. They both Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall act and interact with each other so well. You believe they still love each other deeply, even if they have different ideologies and just constant arguments and can't get along with life, as his father does not approve of him being in the defense of a court, being a judge himself. And so when shit hits the fan, and Hank has to give it his all and put aside his disagreements with his father to rescue him and save him from a terrible fate, it's pretty darn engaging. It ain't Simba and Mufasa or Luke and Vader, but it's up there, and the supporting cast at least did what they could to give Hank some development and make us sympathise with him more. I mean, even of course, we already felt for him due to his bad relationship and complications with his father, but as well as he's going for a divorce, and he's desperately trying to fight for customs for his daughter, even though that could have been included in the movie more. Otherwise, it comes off as pointless. It at least made us care, and as well as meeting up with his former girlfriend, who you wish they could have been together, because him and Vera Fangma, I believe, would have made a cute couple. The movie is beautifully shot. I love the atmosphere and the mood in every single scene. Yeah, it fit the emotion required, and the ending of this movie. Yes, spoiler alerts. I'm afraid his father gets terminally ill from cancer after he's been released, and he dies peacefully on the boat, and Hank finally makes peace with him. It's something heart-wrenching. It really is. It was certainly enough to bring me to tears after all these two had been through. I got a kick out of the soundtrack of this movie. It's not a flawless score by any means, but it's good enough. It does its job. But I'm afraid, guys, I'm glad, Walter. I'm glad this is one of your favourite movies. I'm so happy you do love it as much as you do. But I do not think this is a perfect film. Absolutely not. I'm afraid I did have a few problems with it. Please don't hurt me, Walter. I'm sorry. I still like it. Well, the first and biggest problem I had with the film is that I have read critics' reviews like Empire magazine, and they say that the movie is just full of cliches, plot-wise, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with the critics that say this movie is overly cliche, because it kind of is. It's just riddled with cliches. Story-wise, it's really it really does have a lack of surprises. It's a cliche story pretty much, where two family members don't get along. They really bicker at first, and then something tragic happens which brings them together very abruptly, and of course they have to learn to get along at the end. So if the movie had executed that better and added a slightly different take on the father and son relationship, I would have rated it up there with one of the best, even more. It would have been pitch perfect. But I pretty much, for the most part, knew where the story was going and how it would be resolved. Not to mention that Hank's mother dying was completely pointless. We didn't need that in the movie. I mean, you don't need another family member who our main characters very attached to die just to bring our two characters who hate each other in the family together. How many times have we seen that before? That's another cliched plotline. So I would rather that Hank's mother was alive. She could have really added a new take to that story. She could have helped bring the father and son together. Not to mention, I know this movie's called The Judge. It's going to have a lot of courtroom scenes. That is apparent. But some of them kind of dragged. I mean, I don't mind courtroom scenes as long as they don't go on too long. And at least the courtroom scenes in the Miracle on 34th Street remake were paced perfectly and kept me hooked. But these courtroom scenes, while I was still invested, I still cared about what was happening, but they really could have been trimmed down and paced better. That would have worked much better for me. But the last issue I had, which kind of also brought down the father and son relationship just a little was they made the father, well, they made his dad unlikable at the beginning. Why would his dad not approve of his son being a part of the courtroom when he's a judge? If anything, I think his dad would be proud. That was just to force drama and force tension into their disagreements. If only there was a better, more realistic reason why his dad was angry with him and didn't approve, that would have felt more natural. But despite the flaws that this movie has, it certainly won't remain a classic for me, nor one of my favourite films of all time. But I am so happy that Walter adores this film, and I'm also glad I saw it.
I give The Judge 3 stars out of 5.
So thank you so much, Walter, for making this request, and so please, guys, if you have not checked him out, so please give him a watch and subscribe to him. He's a nice guy. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of The Judge? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love making new subscribers, meeting new people, making new friends, and talking to you guys about movies. I really appreciate that. And please follow me on Twitter and on Google+. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.